Good morning everyone. I am Nisha and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our offline gathering for another exciting episode of IT Talk, hosted by Atharva Institute of Management Studies. IT Talk is an international IT awareness program powered by IQAC, AIMS Mumbai, Maharashtra. It was started in COVID to teach IT-related topics to the mass via social media. Before we begin today's episode, let's rise for Saraswati Vandana and seek her blessings, acknowledging the wisdom and knowledge she symbolizes in the realm of technology and innovation. I would like to call Mr. Sachin Rane sir and Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal ma'am to enlighten and Kajal ma'am to lighten up the lamp. I would like to join Ketan sir. Let's take a look at our Atharva Institute's journey through this video.
We introduce ourselves as Extreme Technology. We travel with you for a long mission. We explore you to the next possibilities of engineering and technologies, from the smallest discoveries to the biggest enhancements. to provide you the most leading world-class infrastructures and resources as mentor of your vision. We prepare you for leadership. We make you confident. Flash your passion into the sky. We add new colors to your life. Help you choose the opportunities that are waiting for you on your path. To be devoted. Discover the new taste of the generation. To form a quality people in life. We are Atharva, a leading brand of education and technology.
Now, I would like to call upon the host for today's episode, Ms. Nisha Pareek, to start the episode.
Thank you, Nishita, and good morning, everyone.
Today's episode promises to be exceptionally engaging as we delve into the dynamic world of IT trends and the importance of embracing change. We have the privilege of being joined by esteemed experts who will share their profound insights on this topic. Firstly, let me introduce our distinguished guest, Mr. Sachin Rane, sir, President of Information Technology, Solution and Services at Stepfinity Software, joining us from Mumbai, India. With extensive experience in business leadership and technology proficiency, Sir's insights are sure to enrich our discussion. Additionally, we are honored to have Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal, ma'am, Head of Research and Development Cell, IQAC and Systems Department of AIMS, Mumbai. Ma'am brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in the evolving technological landscape. But before we delve into the Q&A session, I invite Mr. Sachin Rane, sir, to grace the stage and enlighten us with his presentation prepared for today's discussion.
Hello. Hi, good morning. Thank you for inviting me. Obviously, good feeling. Last week I was at SIS College of Technologies in New Mumbai. This week I'm here and I have a couple of more lined up in next month. So it's always good to be a part of student, faculty, interact with them. It gives you different perspective and obviously it's part of my social responsibility because we need to share, as an industry we need to share what our experience have been. And obviously, if you share knowledge, you also learn in real. Actually, you in the process, you and I learn a lot of things from all of you. So I'm looking forward to engaging session with all of you. And next few minutes, actually, we will share together our perspective about what's happening in the IT industry, what are the trends, and then most important is how do you prepare for yourself for the change. These are like disruptions. What is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. So how do you ensure that you are relevant in the times to come so that you don't become obsolete? Technology has become a very challenging field and I'm sure in next few months or few years you will be part of industry. Some of you perhaps will start your own enterprises. How do you ensure that if you choose to be in technology field, what is that is going to come and what is going to prevail, what is going to remain, and how do you ensure that you remain prepared for that technology. So that's a perspective that I want to bring in. So before I proceed further, I obviously can't thank enough Dr. Shubhilal and a round of applause for her because I think she's done a wonderful job. This is the reason I am saying round of applause because this is a thankless job. It is not easy to get industry people the amount of follow-up that is required to, madam, thank you so much. The amount of follow-up that is required, I know how to ensure that the candidates are matching and the kind of relentless effort that she's been putting to get all industry, not only me, but I know that how much effort that she's put in the past and then I'm sure she will do it. And that's all for your benefit. So I'm sure you're in safe hand with Dr. Lal. So thank you once again, madam. So why do I chose the topic today? And then I thought what's relevant. So let me start with basic. So what is innovation? So anyone can answer what is innovation? Louder. Raise hand and then please. Anyone? Yeah, please, madam. That's correct. Yes.
Something which is helping us for a betterment.
Absolutely. So innovation is basically, what you both of you said, is basically to do something which is better than what you are currently doing. Here is an example that if you want to go to from Bombay to Bangalore, you want to travel. Now, easiest way is basically you walk, right? You walk, then you may walk for days or months, and then someday will reach Bangalore. But if you want to reach faster, then perhaps you can take another medium, which is cycle. But I want to go more faster, then you use car. And I want to go further fast, then I use flight. So what has happened is the need of the speed, which is driven the innovation. So there were no flights. Maybe 100 years ago there were no flights, but there was a need, and the need was felt by human being and humankind, and that's the reason there was an innovation. Somebody thought that we want to reach faster. How do I reach faster? So instead of using cycle, can I use car? Instead of using car, can I use flight? So all this has actually evolved, and it's going to evolve further. Today, all of us use Google Maps. All of us use Google Maps, right? So you will be surprised. I used to live in Australia for 8 years, and whenever we had to, we obviously take taxi or you drive, there was a book which is so thick and so many dimensions. So we have to refer to that books, and that book had a map as to place A to place B. What route to be taken? Actually, each taxi driver, each car had the manual of the roads. Today, you'll be surprised. Obviously, if I say that you have to carry that book, all of us will laugh at me. But that is the phase that we've gone through. And I'm not talking about too fast. I was there in 2004 and till 2011. So we're talking about maybe 20 years ago, right? So that's how fast the industry is growing, and that's how rapidly things are getting innovated. So innovation is constant. Innovation is happening as we speak. As we sit in this room, there is someone thinking better. And some of you also may be thinking those lines as to what I can do better for myself, for my society, for my country, for my company, and that's innovation. And it's a continuous journey. So anyone can identify what is there in top left bottom. Sorry? Floppy disk, absolutely. So when I started my career in '89, we used to have floppy disk. Now this is 8-inch floppy drive, and then the amount of storage it had was perhaps kilobytes, right? Few kilobytes. From there, we have arrived in a great situation where such a tiny drive can have terabytes, right? And that's how the things are innovating. Today we are talking about robots. In 2024, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence and robots. What will happen in 25 years down the line? None of us in this room perhaps will know. We perhaps can know the train, but what exactly, what form, what shape, none of us can predict. And that's how innovation is. And that's why you should be prepared as students when you go to your professional lives. All of you should be prepared for the change, and change is only constant. So what are the broad technology areas which are going to be prevailing in next few years? And the reason I am talking about these areas because these areas are the ones which will actually by and large broadly they will be there. And these areas are, I have taken 10 areas, obviously there will be plus or minuses, but then these are the 10 broad areas that I think, this is my personal perspective, that will prevail and at least be there. So if you choose to be in one of these 10 areas, I'm sure your career is set, because this will be in demand at least for next few years for sure. So let's begin with the first one, which is AI. Everybody talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, natural intelligence is actually getting backseat, and everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. But then I'm sure classics will never go out of fashion. So natural intelligence will always be regarded high, irrespective of whatever. So artificial intelligence is now taking a center stage, which basically means that whatever human can do can be done with the technology which is artificial intelligence, and then Gen AI, generative AI. So all of us are using ChatGPT. How many use ChatGPT? Almost everyone, right? But then that's a prevailing technology today, right? So basically, generative AI can take any text, any video as an input and can generate output. So that's something which never was there. Maybe 3 years ago, it was never there on the horizon. And today, all of us think that how can I not use ChatGPT? How can I not use Gemini? So this is how it is. We get used to it. But in the process, what happens is you tend to forget your natural intelligence. So please don't fall in that trap. So I was traveling to US 3 months ago, and what happened was our flight reached 15 minutes ago, earlier than the scheduled time. And then we were very happy that we are ahead of time. But then this is where the natural intelligence failed us. That when you are ahead of time, the person at the gate should be ready. That flight is coming in, and country like US, mind you, country like US, which is the epitome of technology, and that's where natural intelligence takes a backseat when you are depending completely on artificial things. So the person, we were at the tarmac for next 20 minutes. The reason because the person who was supposed to operate the gates was not there. Basic was expected was like the person, the flight is coming 15 minutes earlier than the scheduled time, and somebody should be there to operate the door, but it wasn't there. So that's how things are becoming bit I would say dependent on the technology, and we should not forget our natural intelligence in the process. So that's a message that I want to give. So coming back to this, Gen AI is something which is all of us are using today. Multimodal artificial intelligence, that means multiple modes of inputs, which is text, video, or images, and basically AI can deal with all this multi modes of inputs. So that's another trend which is there. Democratization of AI means everybody in this room is using AI. That means it's like everybody is free to use the technology. Democracy. The technology is no longer being captive of some few individuals. Everybody can use technology. So that's a democratization, and that's going to spread further. We delivered a program for one of the Asian countries, which is obviously a upcoming powerful country. So we delivered a citizen grievance portal for them. So every individual in that country with the mobile can use the portal to log the grievances, and then those grievances will get addressed in a e-fashion. And we obviously use the AI, a bit of AI in the process. The reason I'm saying is that technology is no longer becoming bastion of some few individuals. Everybody is using the technology, so that's a democratization, and AI will become in the hands of everyone, virtually everyone. Focus on workplace AI. So workplace, all of us use ChatGPT at our work for our benefit, to learn few things, to get some answers. So we will basically continue to use AI at our workplace. Hyper personalization. So all our advertisement, for example, will be more personalized using AI. AI can understand your patterns and actually give you a particular guided marketing campaign, which will be more effective. Digital humans. So there's the twinning of. So AI can we use here words like deepfakes, which is actually becoming a problem. So the technology can be used for constructive as well as destructive purposes. So So obviously digital twins is something which basically creating using AI can create your digital twin. So this is something which is going to becoming more and more prevalent as we move forward. So AI is the first trend that I wanted to talk about. Automation. So all of us wants things to be faster. So today we have delivered some programs for some banks. So what work that typically was done by manual intervention like data entry etc. is now being done by automation. So robotic process automation. Have you heard this word? RPA? Very good. Only one hand. So I don't know how much technology background, I'm sure all of you are a management student, but management student also is important to understand the technology trend. So RPA, robotic process automation, is basically using software, use the function of robotics, right? And then a process. For example, if you want to change the address in your bank account, typically it is being done. It was done by humans earlier. Now RPA software takes input from the file, reads, and then does the updation automatically. And that's how it's a function. It's like a software robot performing the function of a human, and that's the RPA going to be more prevalent to work more effectively. Focus on user friendliness for citizen developers. So you will see this in my talk that the power to common man. The technology is going to bring a lot of power to the common man. So citizen developer is basically people with less technology background, people with no programming language background can perhaps do more coding, and that's going to see that trend in future. So I represent a company called Stephanity. So we are the low code, no code software specialists, which means low code. As the name says, low code, very minimal amount of coding. No code means no amount of coding. So what used to take programming efforts to develop particular software today can be done within hours or days. No longer we take programs which are like projects which will take months or years. So shorter cycle time is going to the key of the market. Ethical automation and ESG. Anyone know what's a full form ESG? Come on. Yes. Please. Absolutely. Thanks. But you should speak fast. And when you have opportunity, just grab the opportunity. That's the key. So environment, social. Thanks for that. So environment, social, and governance. So that's all the companies are getting measured on 3 parameters apart from your financial parameters. All of you are management students, so you will know that a company gets measured on your financial performance. Not only that, but now there are 3 more parameters which every company is getting measured, which is environment. How much environment friendly your company is, what the products that you have, are you environment friendly? How strong is your governance, and how effective are you giving it back to society, to social? So this is actually getting measured, and our customers are asking what is your compliance, what has been your progress, and quarter, mind you can't hide anywhere. You have to report what's your progress on all these parameters: environment, social, and governance. Cloud. So cloud, just for someone who doesn't understand perhaps cloud is nothing like you have electricity, you switch on and then you get your electricity. So cloud provides you IT whenever you want it. Like for example, you want a server, you actually go to a cloud service provider, say that I want a server with 10 GB hard disk and 1 GB RAM, and then within minutes you get a server. You don't care where it is coming from. Right? Today, we don't care who's generating this electricity that we are using in this room. We don't know where it is coming from. Exactly same in the cloud. You don't understand where your actual data is stored, where your CPU is stored, but you get that power, and that's how a cloud is going to be, governing what we do. My sense is like today, every software service provider is hosting their software on cloud and asking you to use pay per use. Pay per use because that's how, like, every month you get electricity bill, right? And then you pay, like, how much electricity that you used, and you pay for that electricity usage. Similarly, for your IT requirements, cloud is going to be exactly like your electricity is providing. How much power, how much CPU power you have used, how much amount of RAM or memory that you have used, how much amount of hard disk that you have used. Basis that, you will get your bills. So everything is becoming everything as service. That's how I see as things are happening. All the software will be hosted on cloud and basically use the software whenever you need it. When you don't need it, shut down. Right? So that's how it is going to be in the future as well. All the software service provider, take any name that you have, all the popular service and solutions provider are hosting their application software and platforms on cloud, and that's going to be the key. So that's the reason cloud is becoming more important. So there are two types of cloud. One is public cloud and private cloud. Public cloud is like everybody has heard Amazon Web Services. Yes or no? Yes. So AWS, so it's short form of Amazon Web Services. AWS is one of the prevalent or the popular platform. Microsoft is there, Google is there, and everybody understands that cloud is the way to go. And likes of Oracle, likes of IBM have they established their own cloud service provider, cloud services, and those are like used for public. So that's why it's called public cloud services. Some companies like Tata and likewise the network service provider, they can give you your own private network, like network which is used for your own personal or your company intra-company use. That's a private cloud services. So prevalent is more which is public, and then some people want for security purpose, data governance purpose, control purpose, they want private. So both are going to be in the future. Cyber security. So this is very key. So last year alone, anyone know what is world population today? World population, not India. 8.1 billion. That's correct. So today world population is 8.1 billion, and last year alone, the reported cyber security impacted individuals itself is more than 350 million, which is roughly half a billion, plus or minus. So out of 8 billion, half a billion incidents, half a billion individuals were impacted because of cyber security incident. I'm sure people in this room have experienced it some way or other. Obviously, this is an unfortunate thing. It shouldn't happen to anyone, but it is happening. One of my neighbor, she's studying in the UK, and she called me day before yesterday and said that somebody is logging into my laptop at every 1 p.m. at every day 1 p.m. and then basically her Apple ID was compromised, and then person has got access to her laptop, and she was very scared. Obviously, we solved that issue, but the point is, it can happen with you, it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone in this room. So we have to be prepared for cyber security, and this is going to be a threat for the world. And united, I think we should fight for it. We should use all the measures which are there to ensure that cyber security is being taken care of. Today, everybody is working from. Basically, we allowed in the times of COVID, allowed people to work from home, and at that time, the remote workforce actually created a problem for us from a cyber security point of view. Remote is going to be there. Remote working is going to be there. Today, we are not gone for 100% working from office. We are working hybrid mode. So we will need those measures for safeguarding our company assets from the cyber incidences. And remote workplace security, cyber security is going to be the key. So this is one which is most happening area, and if you choose to open a career, or if you choose to open a company in this area, I can tell you guarantee that you will have business for next many years. Cybersecurity is very key. Connected cars. So I was in US. I drove this Tesla Model X, which is the highest model of Tesla. Very effective car. But then obviously, my personal view, I didn't like it because I'm more of like BMWs and Mercedes. I like those inside fancy things. But in Model X, you have only one kind of laptop. Not laptop, actually, it's more of a iPad kind of screen, and that's it. But the point is, it is very impressive car, very intelligent car. But at the same time, it can be a threat because it operates on lot of inputs which are gathered on the fly. And imagine if your car security gets compromised, there will be so many accidents, so many mishaps that will happen. That is why cybersecurity is very key, and it's going to be there. This trend is actually, if you continue to work in this area, and if you are an expert in this area, you will always be in demand. I can guarantee you. Data. So today, more than 327 million terabytes get generated every day, and this is going to go up. All of us put a lot of data on social media. This is one major cause for increasing demand of data. So data is another area, a field. Data management, data security, data governance, data warehousing, data lakes. You take anything around data. Data is key because you need to mine the data to understand the patterns of any company or any customer's behavior. And data is going to be the key trend. Anything that you have, any service offering, any solution offering that you have to manage your data, say data quality, for example. We were doing a project for one stock exchange, for example. I was a project manager way back. And we thought, stock exchange obviously will have a lot of clean data. But to our surprise, there were amounts in negative. Amount cannot be negative. Dates were wrong. So stock exchange software also can have data quality issues, which basically tells you that data quality can happen, an issue can happen. And I have seen that in my 30 plus years of career, data quality is bad. Lot of organizations who claim that we have clean data, not necessarily. They have gone through pains, and they will go through pains every day, virtually every day, because new data is getting added, and you don't know what kind of data is coming in. So you have to ensure that the data is clean and data quality is being taken care of. So data quality is an area which is a trend. If you have anything around data quality, solutions, services around data quality, any software, you will obviously be in much demand. Augmented reality, virtual reality. We had one customer which was the airport. So they advertised, they created a nice video, and then on Meta, which is interconnected virtual reality platform, and through that you can actually take a tour of new airport, where things are, where the facilities are, where restaurants are, where the gates are. Very impressive. They use this technology to the best of its ability, and we think that virtual reality or augmented reality or extended reality, that's going to be the key for the future. And when I say that, it means that the devices which are used, and I'm not sure whether anyone of you used it, we were at Microsoft Office a few months ago. So they demonstrated us some kind of visual device, virtual reality device, with which we could get a feeling that we are standing on a shop floor, and we could see that machines live in front of us. So that means the training, you can train your workforce by using those devices, that they get a real-time perspective. So you don't need to go to the factory as such. You can get that experience with that devices. So that's how the technology is being useful. And this is extended reality, which is augmented reality, virtual reality. This is going to be the future. People will use this for training. People use this for workforce preparedness. And we seen that all our customers, some of our customers are using this very effectively for their business benefits. Genes. So all of us have, within ourselves genes. Now this technology, which is not necessarily with IT, but there is more of the combination of medical and IT. The study of genes is going to be the key. And obviously there are some flip side of it, like genes are getting tampered, and you can actually create another human being which is similar to your own clone. So that's how we see that the technology is going to drive. But this can be used for better benefits. So if there is a community which is getting suffered, so their genes patterns can be studied, and perhaps remedies can be suggested. So genomics is getting more importance, and 3D, the three-dimensional view of any genes and the technologies related to that are going to help all the medicine field. So this is another trend, which is the 7th trend. Internet of Things. So I talked about Tesla cars. So these cars basically talk to the nearest point where basically it collects the data from the car. The car is continuously transmitting some data, like what is my speed, what is my battery power, what is my surrounding. So in the car, we were actually we were traveling to Nordic countries last year, and all Nordic countries, which is Finland, Norway, Sweden, they are using electric cars as taxis by default. There is so much of penetration of electric cars in those countries that normal fuel cars, which is petrol cars, diesel cars, are getting, they are actually tapering off. And we see that this is going to be the future. And the reason IoT, which is Internet of Things, which means the devices which are smarter, devices which can communicate, devices which have intelligence built in. So today we use smart bulbs, right? We use Alexa. How many of you use Alexa, Siri? Yeah, 60-70%. So basically, you are using IoT, Pareek. Your Siri, your Alexa, which helps to basically perhaps switch on lights, switch off lights, right? The as basics has that, and then play some songs, etc. So those are like example of IoT, and IoT is going to become more and more useful, just like connected cars. So these are the technology areas which are going to help us to drive our function better, make our life better. Full stack development. So full stack is basically, there is a back-end development, there is a front-end development. Front-end is something all of us use. You use a mobile app, that is front-end. And back-end is basically a logic which takes your input and works on your request and give you the data. That's the back-end data. The full stack is back-end and front-end. Both together is called full stack. So full stack development is the key to get a user the output that is desired, and in the process your user experience, which means that if you go to a particular site and you like that site, the reason is because it's easy to use, and that's called user experience, UX. And user interface is how user friendly is your website is, how user friendly is your inputs, how user friendly is in the way in which your error messages are displayed. So the UI and UX are key. And in fact, we have a competency. We have set of people. We have trained set of people who are working in UI and UX, and that's going to be the future as well. So low code, no code. I come from company low code, no code. We are only focused on low code, no code, and that's going to be future. Which perhaps people will stop coding and then use more of a object-oriented workflows. So how we do it is basically when you create a workflow. What is workflow? When you apply for a credit card, for example, bank asks you what your salary slip, what's your income, what's your form 16. So these are inputs. And then what bank does, somebody goes through a document and look at whether the documents are fake or real, and then how much is your credibility, which means if your salary is say 10 lakhs, how much credit worthy you should be, how much credit spend that you can be, and then depending on that they allow you the credit card limit. And that's workflow, right? And that workflow is being developed using full stack development. And there are various tools. So we are OutSystems is one of the popular platforms, number one and number two leading platform in the world. So there are many platforms like that, but then full stack development is going to be there in future as well. So if you have a company, if you decide to do a career in full stack, you will obviously your job is secured. The last thing is about new energy. So energy solutions is basically every device. For example, now all of us are moving towards electric cars. But that means every device has a capability to generate new power. But then, is that power being used and to the fullest extent? Perhaps no. So, can the technology allow to use those excess power generated by the batteries to feed it back to the network? For example, can this power be given to someone else? Can this be shared and stored and shared to someone else? So that's where the technology is taking us. Electric cars are the best example where your batteries are there is power within that excess power, can that be used? So that's one of the trend that a technology can allow me to use that excess power to give it to someone else who's in need. So vehicles to grid, which is integration, which is electric vehicle. So that basically electric vehicles, grid is basically where all your electricity gets transmitted to homes or to the person who needs it. So energy solutions which will help to create sustainable energy and new forms of energy which are less environment friendly. So those are the ones who are going to demand. So new energy solutions which are helping the environment to be sustained, and that's where that ESG, environment social governance, is going to be key. So this is another trend. Anyone who can create solutions around environment friendliness, environment energy solutions, that's going to be the key. So that's the 10th and the last one trend. Having said these trends, now how do you ensure and what do I need to do? And this is my personal view, because I don't say that I'm the expert, but at the same time I have seen the industry. I have connected networks of many thousands of people, so I've learned from people, right? And I've obviously learned through my experiences, and this is something I'm going to share as to this is my experience. Perhaps you can take some clue out of it. So what do we need to do to be prepared for the change? Anyone can recognize this picture, who this gentleman is? That's right. So I used to work for Wipro earlier. Wipro was my first company. I worked there for 21 years. So I had a good fortune of sharing some platforms and meetings with Mr. Pareek. So one is keeping the good company, and the reason is you collect set of people, you surround yourself with set of people who can lift you up. I'll give an example. We were going for a meeting, and I created a deck and created a nice color printout and then nice folder. I met him at the company lobby. Guys, I'm done, so don't worry, I'll not bore you more. So we met at the reception, and then I handed over the folder to him. Right? When I handed over folder to him, the first thing I thought he will appreciate my efforts, and obviously the kind of work that I put in, etc., etc. He didn't bother about it. First he said, why didn't you take back-to-back printout? Right? Person who is billionaire thinks at that level. So obviously for him, 2 pages doesn't matter. Then he asked me, why are you taking color printout? You could have taken a black and white printout. That's actually both the points are valid. But I, in my endeavor to impress him, I look like a fool. So that's how people at that level think. And all of us actually should be thinking that level. If you want to reach a distance, right? And that's a lifetime lesson for me. I learned it. So he is such a person with that, perhaps in the top 50 highest net worth in the world. But still, person at that level thinks at that, at the grassroots level. So you should be humble, and people who like this teach you a lot, and those lessons will remain with you for life. The point is, create an array of people who can lift you up. Create a company of people who can actually, whom you can look up to, and give you, they can give you a lot of good guidance. So same example, continuing. So we were actually late for meeting, and he had a car, but he said, let's drop the car and go in a tram. Again, simplicity, right? Obviously, person at his caliber perhaps will say, he can afford chopper. But he said, he jumped in a tram ahead of us. We were wondering, what will happen? I mean, will he be mine? But no. He jumped in a tram ahead of us, and all of us followed him. So that's how it should be. Like, all these examples, all these people will train you, will actually lift you up. So create such company that those guys actually will train you for life. And these examples will never be there on the books, but these are live examples. So you actually learn from those people, observe those people, and they will lift you up. Build your own human network, and Madam is the best example here. She has a wonderful network of people, and she actually ensures that the network expands, and she is in touch with all the network. So it's not a one-time job. You have to ensure that you continuously be in touch with your set of people. There are so many platforms today. You guys are so fortunate. We used to have a book, which is telephone diary, and then we obviously had to memorize so many numbers. Today, you guys are so fortunate. You have so many tools which are available. Social media platforms are there. So create your network. I'm telling you with guarantee that some of the good jobs will never get advertised on job portals. It will come only through your network. So if you have a good network, you will succeed. So create your good network and cultivate your network. Keep in touch with people, and people will help you when you need it. And obviously you also should help them. Perseverance. So don't give up. Obviously there will be some ups and downs in life, and nobody is exception to it. None of us. Anyone in this world who says that is always winning, he or she must be lying. All of us go through tough times, but then how do you maintain the perseverance? And when you maintain perseverance, you will succeed. My own example, we thought we bagged one $10 million order, and like everything is signed. And then we went back from that customer. Everything was done. It was the final signature of the CIO was pending. And to our surprise, within 24 hours things changed. and then we did not get the order. Obviously, all of us got demoralized, but then we did not give up. After 6 months, the same customer came back to us, and actually our order value was double. Easiest thing for us was to just give it up. So when you have a downturn, don't just shut yourself off, or don't shut the other person. The other people who perhaps deny you opportunity, other people who reject you, may have their own reasons. So don't reject people. They basis your example, basis your experiences. Not necessarily that everybody is bad. The situation is bad. But keep your perseverance, and I'm 100% sure you will get your success someday. Keep your motivation on. Not easy, but not difficult as well. Be humble. Obviously, when you attain a status, it's easy to become more arrogant and have the air in you. But then it's important to stay grounded. And I have seen many examples. I met Narayan Murthy. I met so many film stars. I mean, some of them are arrogant, but most of them are grounded. And as how I met Sachin, I met Saurav Ganguly. So my profession actually helped me to meet so many people around the world, so many celebrities. But I find most of them are grounded. Exceptions are there, but then not our exceptions. But most of them are grounded, and most of them are humble. They talk to you very nicely. So it's important to be humble and stay connected, and you have to be nice to your colleagues. So when you go out of this room after this class, please ensure that you be nice to your own colleagues, your family, your friends, your girlfriends, your parents. Be nice. It always pays. And the last thing is, be an eternal learner. In the COVID times, at my level, and I am not boasting myself, but I completed 6 certifications. I had enough time because we were working from home, so I had the travel time. My travel time from my office to home and home to office was roughly 3 hours per day on an average. So that was cut down, so I could use that time for doing my certification. So honestly speaking, at my level, I don't need those certifications. Perhaps those certifications will not give me any job as such, but then I wanted to be in touch and ensure that nobody takes me for granted, nobody takes me for right as far as technology is concerned. So I decided that I will do the certification for my own benefit, my own purpose. So no matter whatever status you reach, be an eternal learner. Last thing is, keep calm. So obviously there will be situations in life where it will be disturbing you, but then try to not lose your composure and keep progressing. So this map I have purposely put here. A person like me who is just an engineer, right? I have traveled 52 countries so far, and 2 more I will be going next month. 54 countries. So there are in the world there are 195 countries. So out of 195, some of the countries you will perhaps never want to visit, like Pakistan. So maybe there are 100 countries are worthwhile visiting. So I have seen perhaps virtually 50% of the world, and I am very ordinary engineer. A B engineer from College of Engineering, passed out 89. Obviously, I was first in my college, but only the maintenance, perseverance, hard efforts, network. These are something which actually have taken me to the places. And obviously, all of you in this room are much more capable than me, and you can actually visit the entire world. The world is your playground. And we will not, all of us in this room should ensure that we become a world citizen, and then you should take your Atharva Institute name globally. And then obviously madam and all your coaching staff, they are doing a wonderful job, and you should always be thankful. Please do not forget them when you reach height. Be humble, right? Always be rooted, connected to the roots. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really insightful
Thank you.
And as we move forward, I kindly ask Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal ma'am to join us on stage for the Q&A session. But before we proceed, I encourage everyone to actively participate in our discussion. Feel free to share your thoughts, questions and insights throughout the session. So now let's dive into our conversation on IT trends and embracing the change. We'll explore various aspects including significant trends, strategies for adaptation, necessary skills and the impact on businesses and society. So starting with Sir. Sir, it was really a great presentation. You discussed about innovation. So I want to start with that only. Can you share some specific strategies or approaches that promote innovation and agility within IT departments to stay ahead of the emerging trends?
Thank you. So it's a good question. So innovation gives you an edge, right? Because it gives you something which is different than your competition. Something that your competition do not have. So that's the reason you can attract more customers. So what I've seen in the one of our customer had a small innovation team, and that team used to think of how you can do things better, how you can workflows can be better, how you can service your customers better. And their only job was to create different ways of doing the same thing, faster, better, cheaper. And obviously that team failed because there are multiple options that they evaluated that perhaps not work, but they maintained perseverance. So it goes back to my presentation where you keep trying, maintain perseverance, and out of 100 options that team, and this is a live example of one of our customers, where that innovation team created a couple of approaches that actually resulted in creating IPs for those customers and created some kind of value differentiator for them in the marketplace, and that gives them a lot of revenue in the past. So innovation is something which has to be done out of box, and there has to be you can't be doing like your same operation team cannot do innovation because they are busy doing operations. So you need to have a focused team doing innovation. There has to be backed up by the management because there will be failures, and we should be willing to adopt those failures.
So you also talked about trends and evolution. So I want to know, what do you consider to be the most significant IT trends shaping the industry today, and how can organization effectively adapt to these changes?
I think cloud adoption is, the most significant change because we have seen that maybe 3 years ago there was a lot of resistance for banks and insurance company to use cloud. Today I don't see that resistance at all. So cloud is the way the entire IT industry is going to shape. All your services, all your solutions will be hosted on cloud, and everything will be as service. So as I coined the term, everything as service. So all the IT services, solutions will be available on cloud, and people will use cloud effectively to deliver services to reach customers better.
Okay, that's a great answer, sir. Since we have both the experts from academic and industry, I want to know from both of you, how can collaboration between academia, industry and government entities enhance the adoption of new technologies and facilitate digital transformation?
It's a very good question, Nisha. And recently I attended one conclave. So basically, if you see the entire system in our country, there are educational institutes running and training students and generating skill-based employees. There is industry who are doing production, so they need skill-based employees. And there is government who is providing some kind of funds, some kind of grants to students, and they are helping the students. So these are 3 dots you can see. So now we have to connect 3 dots in such a way that the government is also helping the students via their academic institutions, and institutes are also interacting with the industries and trying to bring industry experts in the campus to give a chance to the students so that they can communicate and they can see what is the culture over there. So this is basically a triangle. If it is strongly connected, definitely we will have good skilled labor, very easily getting employment, and if there is a good governance of the government, in that case definitely whatever funds which government is giving in terms of scholarships and so many things, that can be efficiently used by the students. So this is basically, it's a very good question, and now let's talk about the gap. The gap is that what we are teaching is quite an old syllabus. I will call it old because it's not revised. Certain universities are revising, but certain universities are not revising. So we make sure that after teaching that 100% of the syllabus, we give them something extra, like 50% extra, or whatever are the recent trends and technologies, whatever the new things which are coming up, that we have to deliver to the students. How to deliver to the students? In that case, I have to consult like Dr. Sachin or maybe Dr. Abhijit. I talk to them on a daily basis, try to understand what is happening, what should they learn. So that is how we need to have industry academia interaction first. And then we get insights, we come to know through various bodies like UGC. We have various accreditation systems like NAC, NBA. Their entire book tells us that where we can go from, where we can get help. So it's a Bible. So that's how, if we understand the system, I as an educationist, it's my duty to understand this system first and then being a part of it. And after that, my next step has to be that I have to communicate with industry people, understand the needs, the demands, and then finally go ahead, a step ahead where my institute can get some kind of grant. So that's how this problem can be resolved very easily if we work from.
Definitely, ma'am, and we are actually lucky, or you can say grateful for you and other faculty members for giving us the chance and teaching us the things which are not in our syllabus. And thank you so much for that. So next question is for you only, ma'am. From your perspective, what skills do you think are crucial for professionals or students like us in the who wants to go in the IT sector to thrive in an ever-evolving technological landscape?
Yeah, so first thing is data visualization. You need to understand what is data visualization. Data visualization is not rocket science. We are doing this since ages. Graph, chart, we are doing this in class 10, right? 8, 9. And now everything, it is in real time. Everything is visualized and then you see. Data is huge. We know there are lakhs of records, there are thousands of columns. I cannot understand data. But the moment there is a dashboard with me, I can very easily find out in which country there is a gap, in which country there is a market, where the demand is less, where is the supply more. That all thing can come very easily with the help of visualization. So first thing is that we need to understand what is visualization and what are the tools which are used for data visualization. There are very good tools which are easily, freely available. You can just download and start practicing. Excel is one which all are learning. Excel is like English now. The way you should know the international language, you should know MS Excel. If you want to penetrate into an organization, you should know bare minimum what is a pivot table, what is a macro, what is how to work on multiple sheets. So these are small things that we need to know because we will get data and we will be asked to analyze the data. So data analysis and data visualization have become the part and parcel of MBA for all the students, not just MBA students. Apart from that, analytics has taken a huge demand in the market because now everybody wants to know what will happen in the next 3 months, or not 3 months, what will happen in the next 3 weeks. So how will you understand the pattern? So there you should know the history data and try from the history data, try to bring some patterns, try to identify the patterns and try to understand what is the trend. What will happen? As per the history, what will happen in the coming, let's say 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. So analytics has penetrated in all the streams. If it is HR, it becomes HR analytics. If it is marketing, it becomes social media analytics. If it is operations, it is supply chain analytics. It is data analytics everywhere. For finance, there is analytics. So if you have good knowledge of data visualization, analytics and data analysis, you can definitely get a good standing. I will only guarantee you a good start in an organization. From there, even I don't know, as sir said in 1950, what technologies would be there. So till today I am saying this, that 6 months down, after 6 months I don't know what new thing will come. But these things like analysis, analytics, visualizing and playing with numbers. Statistics, playing with numbers, understanding the data in terms of numbers, because when you talk numbers, quickly you tell. If I say there is 100% attendance over here, it is a good sign. But if I say X, Y, Z, A, B, C are sitting, I cannot say how many are sitting. So when you start talking in numbers, you become very fast giving an answers in terms of percents, ratios, and that's how you have to mold and transform yourself so that you become a good, productive employee for an organization. I think Sachin sir should also answer this, because this is a very beautiful question and everyone should listen to him also.
So I agree with madam. I think data analytics is the key, because everybody is trying to monetize data. Like what are the hidden gems in my data? And learning from your data is only will give you more insight about your own company, your own customers, and your own products. And madam talked about Excel. I think that has become like every child should understand ABCD. So Excel is like ABCD now. So all of you in this room should understand the basics of Excel. Nobody needs to be taught about Excel basic, Excel, Word, PowerPoint. All of us should be familiar with all these tools. And these technologies are only going to be enabler. And as madam said, things are constantly evolving. But then the basics will remain same, right? So basics, none of us should forget. I have been associated with a lot of universities across the world, Bangladesh, Australia, within India, IITs. So I see that there is an increased wave and awareness within student community, and I'm happy that madam has taken step to involve industry. And then the earlier question, your question was about partnerships, and I see that increased partnership and forums like IQAC within the college are helping to bring this industry perspective in the academics, and this is going to be more and more adopted by government. And I think what's also important is to create some kind of additional courses which are oriented around like, for example, if you create a course around low code, no code, whereas our company can help and then create some some awareness. At least you should be aware. You should not be caught unaware in the market. When you go for a job interview, when you start your own enterprise, for example, you should be aware of the basics, and that's where the industry can help you. And obviously, any support that is required to Atharva will always be there.
Talking about the projects as you were discussing right now, and you have a really great work experience as we discussed in your presentation. Could you highlight any noteworthy projects or initiatives undertaken by Stepfinity softwares that demonstrate innovative approaches to embracing technological change?
One of the happening technologies is Gen AI, like generative AI. So we have, for one of our healthcare customers in the US, we have used this effectively to extract the meaning of verbal messages in the healthcare domain, create and interpret those messages, and then use that to understand the sentiments using AI, and then use that effectively to serve the customers. So this is one of the example for US customers. In my earlier company, we have used for digital transformation. So and you'll be surprised, there is a heightened awareness of digital transformation in the government sector. Right? Lot of our customers in the government space, be it banks, be it central government agencies, all of them want to do something better. All of them want to be in digital transformation race. You perhaps may think that government organizations are laggards. No, that era is gone. Even government organizations wants to do something ahead, stay ahead of technology. IRCTC, for example, all of us use IRCTC for railway booking. It's a phenomenal example of how technology has been used, and they are adding more and more AI. They can understand how much travel that you have undertaken in the past, and basis that what has been your preference in terms of which berth you want, lower berth, higher berth. So this is fantastic example of IRCTC. Then second is Aadhaar, your Aadhaar card. That's another good digital transformation that India as a country has taken, and very proud of it. Obviously, having traveled across the world, I can confidently say that India has actually taken a leaps and bounds ahead of technology front as compared to many of even developing countries. Aadhaar card was never possible and is never possible and cannot be done by many of the progressive countries also, which India has done. So very proud of India.
Sir, like you gave good examples of IRCTs and all. Also, I would like to some more example in education field. Also, Government of India has introduced various online platforms like Swayam and many more, where students can learn many more skills online. Okay. So, how government is putting so much of effort in technology advancement? This is one of the best example in education field also.
So I think that's a good point, because the government is putting a lot of efforts in skilling up the young and youth generation. So the amount of effort that, and I have personally been associated with some of the efforts that I've seen in my own environment. The kind of education courses, like Honorable Prime Minister is also putting a lot of stress on learning AI.
Yeah.
And he understands, he understands what the technology importance is going to be. And India, our age is our brain power. Let's be assured, let's be confident about that. Our brain power will take us further and ahead in the world. And fortunately, our government understands that this is our strength and they are playing on our side.
I completely agree. Even government has recently announced the digital or other courses for free of cost for students as well. So definitely the government is transforming. So talking about AI and automation, I want to ask, how do you envision the role of AI and automation in reshaping the future of work, particularly in the IT sector or in general?
So obviously AI being used to generate a lot of intelligence out of workforce. So using AI, we are also looking at what is the productivity of employees. Right? There are tools being generated. Because people are working remotely, some of the facilities are getting misused also. Like some of the employees do not adhere to the work timelines. Yes. So it's perhaps getting abused. So there are tools being used which can give you intelligence in terms of employee productivity, and that's where AI is helping us. AI is helping us for sentiment analytics. AI is helping for us to understand our contracts. We have a lot of master service agreements. And these master service agreements they run in volume. The number of pages are too many. So we have to understand which are the clauses which are perhaps harmful or dangerous, and then what kind of remedial actions, or what kind of changes, if the customer suggests those clauses, what kind of counter arguments that can be suggested. And that's where AI is helping us in the workplace to understand the sentiments, to understand the documents, to segregate documents, to categorize documents. There was one customer, which was bank, where we have done multiple millions of records or documents doing categorization. If you wanted to do it manually, even using tool was not possible. Using AI, it was done in few days, multi-million documents, right? And that's where the AI is actually very powerful tool, but then it has to be used appropriately.
Absolutely. So as you were talking about some dangerous aspect, and also you talked about cyber security in your presentation, I want to ask, as we discussed that cyber security is a growing concern, what measures should an organization should take to ensure robust cyber security practices, especially in the light of emerging threats? Like you mentioned.
So there is a concept called zero trust, which is prevailing. Zero trust means trust no one in the organization. So treat everybody as, like, when you go to US, for example, they treat every incoming passenger as potential immigrant. Means person who has come there will perhaps potentially stay there forever. And then they start, checking on your background and then classify you as perhaps secured or safe passenger and then allow you. So that's a policy, zero trust. Trust nothing, trust no one. So that's a policy that everybody should adopt, that don't trust anyone as far as cyber security is concerned. Second is there is investment which is required. Like there are firewalls, there are firewall software, hardware which are available, and there are complex security solutions which are help you to identify the threat, and in case the threat happens, shut the entire network off. That there are some software which are available which can help you to do that. So we have to invest in such software, such infrastructure to ensure that the organization safety, because you are processing your customer's data. Your customer's data could be in credit card, your own invoices, for example. A customer, if your financial data is hacked, and an intruder will know how much revenue is being generated. Imagine the harm that it can create. So there are some non-social elements who are only after you, and they survive only on this kind of activities, which basically gets into your network, gets into your data, seal the data, and then perhaps block the data, don't allow you to use that data. And the best way to do that is have your own security infrastructure, keep it upgraded, and then keep investing in the new tools as far as security is concerned.
Ma'am, I would like to ask you, what according to you or an IT professional or we as a student should ethically considerate or keep in mind when developing and deploying new technologies?
First thing is that whenever you are developing a new technology, your testing has to be 200%. Students always think that testing is something very boring. We want to go for coding. Coding is something very extraordinary. We are considered as, you can say, experts. And testing is what I have given him software, and now you put test data and keep on checking whether output is right or wrong. That's what the role of tester is. But I will say, if you are a good tester, you will fail the programmer bare minimum 4 or 5 times in the entire process, and that's the catch. That load the software with all such kind of data, we call it dirty data, which will stop your entire application. Your application gets hanged, and once the testing is done, beautifully it is done at both the sides, and at the office and then on the site where it is getting deployed, then you are actually making a good, powerful software. That is one thing. After that, once it is there, definitely maintenance team who has the complete authority to, after implementation, maintain the software, because there will be a lot of troubleshoots and a lot of errors, and those errors need to be noted back and reported to the developer that this is what your software is behaving in the organization. So why Windows survived for such a long duration? Because their maintenance is beautiful. It is the longest phase of a system development life cycle. If you see, 80% is maintenance. Analysis designing is just done. Maintenance is lifelong. Till 2024, they are maintaining their MS Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and they are trying to bring errors. Even I get errors. My system hangs. Sometimes I report. But the beauty is that the moment I report, I find that particular error has been resolved. So that's how you have to design your software, and if you want to stay in the market, your testing has to be beautiful. After that, maintenance part. So testing followed by maintenance in proper 100% manner, and it is a life cycle of a product. If you stop maintaining your body, what will happen? One day you will die. Ditto with the software. You stop the maintenance part of a software, the software will be out of market. What happened to Orkut? Why Facebook is still there? Why Instagram is evolving every day? How come Twitter has become so powerful that when Facebook was down, it was tweeted on Twitter that Facebook is down? When Instagram, the server was down, people were talking on Twitter. Even I went to Twitter to see what has happened. So that's what your security level of application should be, that in the worst time, in the worst scenario, how you are managing the things. But definitely if you talk of Facebook, nobody logs in. If I logged out from Facebook, and imagine number of users who logged out from Facebook on that day, and Instagram. But there was automatic login. Automatically it was logged in. Why they did it? Because they wanted to retain me. They wanted to retain all the users. So auto logins were done for Instagram and Facebook, because I don't remember the passwords. I will create another account. But if I create another account, I will not trust Facebook. I will not trust Instagram. So what they did, they logged in for me, so that I can become my regular user and again start scrolling the posts and everything. So that's how you have to behave.
So anything you want to add, sir?
Ma'am, so one question I have. So then this kind of hacking can be stopped. Like there must be some, softwares or like protections can be taken, and this kind of hacking can be stopped completely.
I can't say like we cannot stop them, but such tools can be invented in such a way that hacking can be stopped from everywhere. Is it possible?
Not possible. Actually, चोर पुलिस से दो से भागी सोचता है.
Madam, there is a climate change and the temperature is increasing. So many bombs are getting activated, and we are getting newer diseases. So many bacteria, if you see the ice is melting, so they become active. So likewise, there are so many viruses which are created every minute. And that is the reason why your antivirus requires an update. There cannot be 100% security. Only thing you have to be safe, update your antivirus, keep your computer safe at safe place. Don't use the public Wi-Fi, a big no-no. And again, don't give your passwords. Don't trust, zero trust.
Keep changing passwords.
Keep changing passwords. And zero trust, this new thing I got to know today. So that's something which we can get some infection, some new infection is coming, some new virus is coming. That way, some new virus is coming in the entire internet.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
That's all from my side. So as we wrap up our discussion, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists for sharing their invaluable insights with us today. Your expertise has truly enriched our understanding of IT trends and the importance of embracing the change. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Nishita back on stage for the vote of thanks.
A round of applause for her because she did a splendid job in terms of coordinating.
Thank you, Nisha, for guiding us through this enlightening discussion. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed panelists, Mr. Sachin Rane sir and Dr. Shubila Agarwal ma'am, for their valuable contribution and insights. I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Honorable Shri Sunil Rane sir, Executive President, Atharva Group of Institute and MLA Borivali, Mumbai, for their unwavering support. I also want to thank Dr. D. Henry sir, Director of AIMS, Mumbai, and Dr. Shubila Agarwal ma'am, Head of Research and Development Cell, IQAC and System Development Department of AIMS, Mumbai, for their continuous support and encouragement in making this event possible. Also, I want to thank our faculty members and non-teaching staff for their help and support in making this event possible. Lastly, a big thank to all of you attendees for your active participation and engagement. Your presence has made this event truly memorable. With that, let's continue to explore, learn, and embrace change in every evolving world of technology. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead. I would like to call Mr. Sachin Rane sir and all the faculty members for a picture.